A red Chevrolet Impala sits abandoned on a Kentucky highway. Keys in the ignition, purse on the seat, phone on the dashboard. It looks like the driver just stepped away for a second, but she didn't. 3 days earlier, Sherry Ballard got a call from her daughter. Crystal sounded happy. She was heading to her boyfriend's family farm for the 4th of July weekend. They hung up without worry. Then came silence. No texts, no calls. By Sunday, Sherry wasn't just worried. She was frozen with terror. She didn't report a missing person. She reported a certainty. Her daughter was gone, and she was right. Crystal Rogers was not the type to disappear. She painted her world pink. She called her sister her best friend. She had 5 children who meant everything to her. The FBI would later note she was never known to go anywhere without them. That detail defined her. Born and raised in Bardstown, Kentucky, she was rooted in a town where everyone knew your name and your car. Her father, Tommy, was steady. Her mother, Sherry, tracked everyone obsessively. Crystal was 35, someone's daughter, someone's sister, and a mother whose devotion was so absolute that her disappearance defied all logic. By summer 2015, Crystal was navigating a volatile relationship with Brooks Hoke. He was a local businessman who controlled over 70 properties worth nearly $13 million. They shared a 2-year-old son named Eli, but cracks were showing. 6 weeks before she vanished, Crystal sent Brooks a blistering text. She was tired of being on the back burner. She couldn't handle his treatment anymore. Brooks replied, asking her to come home. It was an ordinary exchange between 2 people failing to connect, but it proved Crystal was frustrated, not flighty. She was trying to fix her life. She never got the chance. On July 3rd, Crystal went to the Houk farm with Brooks, a kid-free date night. Brooks told police they were together until midnight, but at 11:57 p.m., Crystal's phone went dark, manually shut off. Digital forensics later revealed Brooks' timeline didn't match reality. He did not leave the farm when he claimed. Something happened in those silent hours between her phone dying and the morning light. What transpired at that farm is the question that has haunted Kentucky for over a decade. No convicted person has ever spoken the truth. The silence is deafening. On July 5th, Crystal's red Impala was found near mile marker 14 on the Bluegrass Parkway. Flat tire, keys, phone, and purse still inside. This wasn't a woman who walked away. This was a scene staged to look like one. Years later, trial testimony revealed Stephen Lawson admitted moving that vehicle. His son Joseph drove it until the tire blew. They abandoned it deliberately. A witness heard Joseph bragging about receiving $50,000 for that task. Another heard Stephen say Brooks had a woman with 5 kids who needed to be taken care of. Authorities named Brooks Houk the sole suspect in October 2015, but the case immediately stalled. Brooks' brother Nick was a Bardstown police officer. During an early interview, Nick called Brooks and instructed him to stop speaking with investigators, a law enforcement officer actively interfering. Nick was later fired and failed a polygraph, but faced no charges for years. The investigation limped forward while Crystal's family screamed for answers. The local system seemed to be protecting one of its own, and while prosecutors built a fragile case, the prime suspect remained free. Justice moved at a crawl. Crystal's father, Tommy, refused to wait. He formed Team Crystal, searching fields and woodlands. He stood before cameras, begging for tips. He painted Bardstown pink with memorial jars. On November 19, 2016, 16 months after Crystal vanished, Tommy took his 12-year-old grandson hunting on family property. A single shot struck him in the chest. He died instantly. His grandson witnessed it all. Tommy was murdered while actively searching for his missing daughter. His killing remains unsolved. The FBI offers a $10,000 reward. Sherry buried her husband without ever finding her daughter. By 2020, the FBI took over. They tore up a concrete driveway in a subdivision where Brooks had been building homes. Agents ripped into the earth, searching for what lay beneath. They found an item of interest, but never revealed it. They also examined a white Buick once owned by Brooks' grandmother. Inside the trunk, a hair similar to Crystal's was discovered. A cadaver dog alerted to the same vehicle. Lab tests proved inconclusive, but the combination was devastating. A former employee testified Joseph Lawson spoke about pulling Crystal's teeth and letting hogs dispose of the rest. 8 years passed before the arrest came. In 2023, Joseph Lawson was indicted. Then Brooks Houck was finally charged with murder. Stephen Lawson was convicted first, receiving 17 years. Then came the main event. Brooks and Joseph stood trial together. Over 50 witnesses testified. The defense argued there was no body, no weapon, no confession. But the jury saw the cover-up. On July 8, 2025, Brooks was found guilty. Joseph was convicted of conspiracy. Brooks received life in prison. In court, Sherry faced her daughter's killer and asked one question. "Where is Crystal?" He said nothing. Crystal Rogers has never been found. Her son Eli, just 2 when she vanished, is now a teenager raised by Brooks' sister. Her daughter Kylie graduated without her mother. Tommy's murder remains a separate, unsolved wound. Brooks has no incentive to talk. He's serving life in silence. Sherry carries a decade of grief. She knows who did it. She has the conviction. But she doesn't have her daughter's body to bury. Somewhere in Kentucky, beneath concrete or buried in a field, Crystal is waiting. The silence from the man who knows is deafening. The search continues.